Nick Thacker. Welcome to Coach's Corner. This is Coach Matt Thacker here, the men's basketball team here at Simpson University. Coach, this is our second week of doing it here. Big tough loss to Maritime here at home, and then a quick turnaround win against PUC, big 20-point win. What can you tell us about those games, and why the quick turnaround?
Well, I can tell you that the loss to Maritime probably hurt more than the win against PUC felt good. Starting with them, look, they're really good, and they came in and, it hurt because we had them, and all we had to do was execute down the stretch, make some free throws, take care of the ball a little bit, and we beat them. We missed free throws. They came down, made shots, and ended up catching us and beating us by I think it was a 3-point game of possession at the end, and we had actually a couple shots to get them, but, we're trying to not look behind us. We're trying to look forward, and I was real proud of the way the guys just, like you say, quick turnaround, shook that one off and prepared against a PUC team that isn't a bad team. And PUC came in, and, we were ready. And basketball is such a game of matchups anyway. I've always felt like probably the matchup against PUC favors us, and it doesn't hurt that, we shot 60% from 3-point range. I mean, when you do that, you expect to win. And, Dalton had 12 assists and got some guys good looks, but we just jumped on them out of the gate, and it was a nice night for homecoming, and we had a good crowd, and the kids were enthused with that. That means a lot when the stands are full and there's energy, so it was a lot easier for us to sustain. So we were real happy with the win there, and, it gives us confidence to move into the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that big win, 20-pointer, and this week you got a couple more conference games before you go into the postseason. First one at Merced. You got the early game there on Tuesday, I believe, and then on Thursday headed over to Menlo. How do you feel about those last games in conference? What's at stake there?
Well, those games are Thursday and Saturday, and we go down to Merced, and it's a long trip. It's a 5-hour drive. We go there. Of course, whenever you go into Merced, you have to deal with Key Chambers. He's leading scorer in the conference. Thank goodness he's a senior. He's tough stuff. And their other guys are coming on, and they understand their role, and they really look for a Key. Key had 29 at our place, and we lost another 3-point game to them here. It was another game we felt like we should have won. So, our kids are confident playing anybody, and we go down there and we play them, and if we win our last 2 games, we have a chance to tie for 3rd place in the conference. We'd like to do that, but realistically, the important thing is how you're playing going into the postseason. I would rather be winning a few games going into the postseason, middle of the pack finish, than winning it all and limp in after a couple losses. So the way you play going into the postseason means everything. We've got a couple really tough road games, and we want to be able to find a way to scratch out some confidence and some positive stuff. We know we have the team that can compete and can play and get positive basketball. We just need to execute down the stretch and give ourselves chances to win. I think the game of Menlo will probably determine whether we host a playoff game or go on the road for our first playoff game. We'd obviously like to host it. My gut feeling is we're going to end up playing Menlo again, probably twice in a row, last conference game, and then I just feel like we're going to play them in the first round. So if we win the game at their place, we play them here. If we lose at their place, we probably will play it there. We prefer to play here, but honestly, we have confidence either way. Menlo's tough. They got a big kid inside Bowman that, he's tough to handle. And then they got all sorts of guys that like to shoot a lot of threes. And if they're hitting threes, they're pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, couple, like you said, tight games there in the middle of the conference, lost a few by less than 2 points, I believe. How do you deal with that confidence-wise going into the postseason and the conference tournament especially?
Well, I think, confidence, success helps breed more confidence. A couple of the things that we saw in the last game that was really encouraging for me, I mentioned a couple things. Probably the thing that excited me the most was, Ian took 3 charges. And for him to be moving his feet and his team defense and be able to take charges around the bucket for a big guy, well, that makes us better right away and helps us with our confidence going in. So it's little things like that, taking care of the ball a little bit better. We had a low turnover game. Rebounding a little bit better. We out-rebounded, but free throws are still something that could come. Free throws are a mystery. We shoot 100 free throws a night. Guys will knock down 94, 95 of them, and then they come in a game and, and they're clanking out. And so, it's mental and it's maturity and it's focus. And, if all of a sudden we start knocking down free throws, we start taking care of the ball a little bit more, big guys are a little more active, taking charges, we get better. And if we get better, then, we're going to be tough to deal with, because all the teams right now, really, everybody's playing each other close games. And the one team that goes into the playoffs with a little bit of confidence, playing just a little bit better, may be just enough to get it done.
Absolutely. Well, this team sure has a lot of pieces, and I think as the season's gone on, you're seeing them start to get a little bit closer together, and this team might be pretty dangerous here in the playoffs. So, Coach Thacker, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. It's gravity. Keeps pulling me down.